Joe Hungers, along with his two co-casters, Witch River versus Dota Boys in Mage League, best of 3. Co-casters, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, sure. I'm Mina. I'm the best here, so.
Slug.
Nice.
Yeah, intense, high. Wait, Dota Boys 2 banned the bristle. That's very funny. Wait. Does anyone know if Witch River has played the bristle like ever?
Yeah, Yiddles played the Bristle in some
Okay.
of their games recently, which I actually think would have been a really greedy draft to have like a traditional P1 and like a Bristle as a P3.
I think bristle is a P1 nowadays. So
Yeah, I think Dota Boys saving Wish River from themselves a little bit.
Yeah. I didn't know if Witch River played it. I think it's a very strong hero right now, but
10 seconds.
It's interesting. I don't think Prophet's worth the ban anymore. I think the hero's been nerfed enough that he's not actually that good. Like, you probably do pick him maybe still, but I guess to be fair, they're also banning heroes like Naga, so it's a little bit getting comfort picks out there.
Right, and yeah, like you're saying, I think there's a certain level of familiarity if you've been spamming Nature's Prophet in the most recent patch.
Yeah,
like it might just be value. You know you can get wards out. You know you can do some ratting things. You know you can snipe some crows. Like you don't have the same lane presence, but that's not to say he's lost all his utility.
I mean, he's only like his main weakness right now. I think is just like losing 40 HP was a lot for him because he never had the biggest HP pool to begin with. So he's now very burstable in lane. So I think it's quite abusable if you know they're gonna pick Prophet to like. I mean, I guess if you know you're gonna lane that Prophet into like a Dawn or like some other kill potential lane, I think that's pretty scary. But the Naga ban, I think, is because Dota Boys used to play in the Meet Merp tournaments, and I think it was Francisco used to play like they were basically always second phase in Naga, if it was in the pool, and he did a lot of work with it. I think it was Francisco anyway. It's definitely one of the Dota Boys.
The Warlock pick is fairly standard. Who do we know from Witch River who plays Dawnbreaker? Do we think that's default P3 or could that be a P1 Dawnbreaker or flex to support?
I would assume it's Yiddles on the Dawn.
Yeah, I doubt
this. I doubt they're getting too spicy with it. It's I couldn't imagine because Stanix is stand-in, presumably P5 stand-in. They're probably going to end up picking up one of his generic Rubik Shadow Demon stand-in heroes. Like he doesn't have the widest +5 pool. He's a flexible player, but he has a couple go-tos. I couldn't imagine Dave playing a P4 Dawn. Just doesn't quite seem like a Dave hero. So pretty confident saying it's just a standard P3.
Yeah.
There's the Stanix hero. Just giving him
Rubik.
Yeah, keeping him
as a P4. So does that mean are we thinking that they're moving Dave back to P5?
I assume they're just going to leave Stanix playing P5 on the Rubik. I think Rubik can be played as P5 nowadays. He's pretty strong in lane and yeah, I don't think it's the end of the world having a P5 Rubik.
Yeah, well, and with the Warlock opening from Dota Boys, I mean, the stealing Warlock ult is always so wonderful.
Yeah, it's a good threat. I mean, pretty much every Warlock spell other than his W is pretty solid steal.
Very funny.
Invoker Yoink. It is interesting. I don't know enough of the Dota Boys to know who plays the Invoker, if it's a core, if it's a support.
Yeah, so Egress, as we know, like plays a shit ton of Invoker, so that's I wonder if he was developing some hope that it would make through the draft to him at that point.
I was gonna say I know he said when I talked to him earlier, he said he was hoping to pick up an Invoker if he doesn't get banned for once, but he ended up getting picked.
Then she's got a slight nerf recently.
I'd say she's still pretty just a generic solid support. She's not as overpowered as she has been, but she's still just a support with a stun. You never go too wrong. Curious. We'll see. We'll probably see one of Dave's heroes come out here. Dave is not got the widest hero pool, but he's got a couple that he's very strong on, and none of them are banned right now.
Is it gonna be the Venom?
I would assume so. Venom Dawn sounds like an extremely gross lane.
I'd hate to play into that.
You'd love to play with that.
Very true.
Oh god. Yeah. It's draft wise. I mean, teams have done some basic research on each other, but you can definitely see that neither team really. At the very least, I can tell you the Dota boys don't seem to know too much about Witch River game plan. The Bristleback clearly shows there was some research done, or who knows, maybe they just are aware of the Bristle and are scared of it. Spectre.
Okay.
Interesting pickup. Very bold pickup, assuming that's a P5 Rubik, because that lane is not going to get anything done. You kind of want a more babysitting support with the spec, but
10 seconds.
But maybe they're just accepting they're going to sack that lane and play. Because I think the Spectre, especially with all the buffs she's gotten recently, is a very strong hero. Especially like in pub sort of games, she's crazy strong. She still has that classic Spectre late game threat where she just becomes super beefy and walks at you. I guess if you look at the Dota boys lineup, Spec matches into them all three quite well. I think a Minatoman can adapt to a spec in the build. I think I've seen Minatoman's go Silver Edge before. It's obviously not the most classical Invoker build up.
Right.
But
well, and you know they've got kind of this global presence too now, right? Because you can have spec ult into someone, and then the Dawnbreaker ult in on top of that. So lots of utility, lots of like pick off potential. You do have the Venge for the save from that though, right? Which is, you know, kind of a nice answer out of Dota boys. Like your Invoker gets gone, you can swap, and that kind of nullifies both the spec and the Dawn ult. So I guess they reposition right.
Kunkka. I kind of like that. That's I heard Kunkka instinctively. I heard he's quite good against Dawn. Right? I don't know the matchup too well, but being able to throw the the water park at the Dawn ult coming in sounds really good.
I feel like Kunkka struggles against the Venomancer though, because he wants to kind of like run around,
to be able to run in and out.
Sidebringer.
Yeah. So the slows can definitely be rough for him. But that's just the Venomancer. Like, you probably have to get BKB, be able to ignore the slows. I'm quite curious what Witch River are going to do for their mid lane, because I've done this global strat many times, even with like the Nature's Prophets and whatnot included. And I always find that the biggest weakness of it is that like it feels really hard to be proactive if you feel very reactive in a lot of what you're doing. Because your Spectre generally isn't trying to be that proactive until 20-25 minutes into the game, right? When she's got a couple items. Your Dawn cannot really be proactive, like in terms of using her ult. She has to have somebody else to go on to. And so I feel like it would be very nice for them if there was a very active mid laner, someone that the supports can play around, and then the two other cores can come in when necessary. Something like a Kunkka, but obviously for them. And it could be Spirit. I don't think Egress plays it.
I don't believe so either. I hope they bring in something with some lockdown though, because like, we talked about the global presence. There is good damage output in team fights out of Witch River, but they don't have the same level of control that like Dota Boys has between the Warlock, the Invoker, the Venge, and the Kunkka. All who can really control.
There's definitely quite like a wombo combo. Yeah, especially with the chains. There's a lot that can be going on there. That's quite, especially once the water part comes up with the Ags. It's there's a lot going on. Like you can bring everyone in, but I'm not sure you want everyone in against all of the stuff going on from Dota Boys. I feel like this mid pick from Witch River really needs to like tie their team together. I think they want some sort of playmaker he's done here, like maybe even a mid Earthshaker, something to really play around.
Hello.
Hey Nick.
How are things in the casting booth, boys?
Hey Nick, just full disclosure, we are live.
Sure. Is that just so I don't say anything in
yes.
character for myself?
Right.
Yeah, no, it's in character. Anyway, what they always need a carry. Are there any carries that you think? I mean, I guess both of you are kind of a bit of degenerate P3 players. Do any carry P1s you think like lane into this Dawn well? I know Lifesteal got some buffs today.
Most things ranged are happy, I would say.
I'm curious about Lifestealer is like coming to mind. I feel like he matches up quite well into most of what Witch River is showing, right? Like he has the built-in BKB to purge off the Veno stuff. He can rage whenever Dawn tries to do her 2-spell combo on him. He matches up quite well into Spectre in the late game, I think. Can build Silver Edge if necessary, but also can kind of tank through it if he doesn't need to worry about his team taking damage.
Similarly, the Juggernaut, who can spin out of stuff. Oh, I guess we don't need to explore that conversation. You're bang on. Yeah, it's a good pickup. It's definitely solid.
I think it also has that is very much in the mind. I think he was one of the P1s that won a lot in yesterday's patch. So I think a lot of people are thinking about whether or not Lifestealer is like a pickup right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see a decent amount of him in TI as well. I think it depends on. I think there's also going to be a lot of CK in TI, and then that also I think Lifestealer matches up quite well into him as well. So.
Game Johnson here. What are we doing here? Dota? Great.
What do they go for? A Void Spirit.
Void Spirit.
I don't hate it. I think it's a bit slow though.
I don't think it plays into Lifestealer that well either.
I agree. He's quite a beefy, like he's a universal hero that generally tends to build stats. So like it's another, it's a third core that Lifestealer is quite happy just to smack on in fights. Also his stun, there's there's that delay time between going off, so you're never going to be able to catch the Lifestealer without him raging. I guess he does have the silence with the Ags, which is quite good against Lifestealer. Maybe. I think part of it's a comfort pick. It's one of the few mids that Egress kind of has played a decent amount of. He's played less of him since he became universal, but at least he's comfortable on the.
Yeah, I feel like it puts a lot on his shoulders though to start these fights, and I'm not sure that's as beefy. I think you wanted someone even beefier to be able to run in and start fights.
I don't think they necessarily had to be beefy. They had to be. You need someone that can go in and provide vision. I think beefy is it's one way of doing that, and I think it's probably the easiest way of doing it. But yeah, you kind of just wanted a P3 from the mid lane, right? Some hero that can just walk in, get the vision on the high ground, find these heroes. But yeah, I mean this Void has to really kind of be walking into dangerous spots if they want to do anything proactive. And against the stuff Dota Boys showing, I mean, I guess there's not crazy burst from Dota Boys, right? They've got the Invoker stuff, but in theory there should be at least some reaction time that Egress has to kind of not get blown up. He has the Void has a lot of evasory skills to hopefully not die to a meatball.
Right. Well, that said, he's one of few heroes who can inherently avoid an X combo as it's being executed. Yeah. But that also means you've used your evasion to dodge the X combo, and you still have the swap. You still have the slow puddle. You still have so many things that you can do.
There's still a lot of things going on, and especially as the game goes on, I think he's him as a hero inherently is just he has to ignore the lifesteal. I think his job going into the late game is going to be fighting the Invoker, kind of trying to keep the Invoker out of the fight. Maybe go on the backlines with the Spectre, while maybe you have your supports try to keep lifesteal out of the fight. I'm concerned for Witch River, depending on how late this goes, but also the Dawn lane is notoriously very strong, so it's possible that things go well enough.
Ian Ray providing the vision. Yeah. Ooh, the 4-man.
Classic. You can see that go in. You can see the Rubik waiting for it.
Being good sports about it. Love that.
Yeah, gotta love some high fiving, tipping. The question, are they going to try and kill him? I mean, it's scary to try and kill him.
Coming back now that the links.
Yeah, so. Kill him off, get your first blood.
Fair enough.
They weren't kind enough to give it to mid laner. They end up giving away three bounties, but I'm sure they don't mind that much for the first blood.
Well, and you've also now forced the Rubik into a situation where the Rubik's leveled lift 1.
Yeah,
so, you know, if there were an opportunity for the Rubik to, say, secure a range creep or, you know, potentially go for a kill.
His trading in general is just worse for this first level, yeah. So he just needs to make sure to stab level 2 quickly. Maybe quicker than he'd like, because I feel like Dawn really wants to hit 3 as fast as possible. Even just 2 as fast as possible is probably the biggest level 2 power spark in a hero that I can think of.
Nothing to your power.
So it hinders the top lane a little, but Stanix is a little notorious for not doing too much as a support anyway.
Not that you and I are biased with saying position 5 Rubik.
Yeah, he's a little notorious for not doing too much in lane.
So Magical Shrimp thought Sanix had put a sentry at the small camp, but he hadn't.
I'm probably just playing it. I was playing it safe. Wanted to make sure that it's unblocked as soon as possible. Our supports tend to just like not even wait to see if it's blocked. They just throw the sentry down to make sure it's unblocked at the 1 minute, and then it can stack at the 2 minute. Depends how interested you are in stacking and pulling. Although normally a lot of the time when supports do that, they also tend to block the hard camp because they're very invested in making sure they have the pull advantage.
Yep. Dave catching or
I
Sunderland.
realized that they'd switched up the supports. I think this makes sense. I didn't even think about it. They give the Dawn the weaker support because she's a stronger laner. Last year's not exactly a flash farmer, so it's not the end of the world if he gets some stuff out of lane. Let him get his levels, let him go to the jungle.
Ian Ray getting a decent amount of CS to start this off.
Honestly, yeah, I mean, the lanes are going slightly different than I expected. I mean, Mage is having a pretty solid lane just because, I mean, Venno has been keeping Venge out of the story, and then Spectre into Kunkka, pretty fair enough to fight.
Yeah, all of Radiant leading the last hits here in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, they're not really too insane for the most part. I mean, the lifesteal is struggling a bit, as you kind of expect against Dawn. Like, it's got a bit of a disadvantage in the last inning. Although Dawn's getting a lot of denies in this top lane, which is very rough for the safe lane. I feel like the Warlock needs to try and just like be less involved in the lane. Go do that, the pull shenanigans.
You did not earn it, so you do not.
Generally, as a Warlock, unless you're spamming your Q on creeps, you're not really doing that much in comparison to a Rubik in terms of trading. You hit a bit weaker, you don't have any spells that really help. So, I think realistically, you should just Q the Dawn and walk away. Get the chains up, walk away, go pull. You can pull within the hard camp if the chains can be pulled enough. We're getting a little bit over aggressively here, I think. This is taking a little damage that you don't want to take.
Yeah. Missed the blood grenade on the Warlock, unfortunately, for Witch River.
Honestly, I think it might be fortunate for them. I think if they had hit that, it would have been a trade. I don't think it would have been just a free kill. The lifestealer does hit, heftily enough in the lane, so you can't just ignore him and walk past him like that. Not without more burst damage, which you don't really have at all. I mean, I guess maybe at level 3 they have some burst with the Rubik level 3 Duke, but it's scary. Okay, they're going on the lifesteal. I think this makes more sense. Go to the guy that actually is threatening.
Another missed blood grenade. Warlock potentially going for the sacrifice play here. Ooh, unless...
He's got heals for days!
There's a Lotus and a Magic Stick and a Fairy Fire. Interesting choice on the Fairy Fire on the Warlock. I don't feel like that's something I typically see Warlocks come out to lane with.
Not in current meta. A lot of people focus a lot on stats nowadays. I mean, it used to be a thing, you know, you get Fairy Fire a lot on random heroes because the burst heal could be quite relevant, but nowadays we prefer just to get your branches, head towards your wand. Because you want wand on every hero.
We're very, very even, actually. Just
second neck, which is quite surprising. I feel like Void Spirit has quite an advantage in this lane. For the most part, like he should just last it. He has an amazing attack animation. But everyone looks at the Invoker's playing quite well. It's a plus.
And that's what I had commented on earlier. You know, the Void Spirit does have the means to dodge quite well, quite a lot of stuff. It's just going to be a matter of, you know, is he dodging the right thing at the right time versus, you know, using up this very valuable dodge.
Well, that's the thing, it's like, it depends how many heroes are there. Like, you know, if you are using your spells to dodge, it's hard to keep going in.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing, too, is, like, prior to his Astral Step, you know, you could potentially use Dissimulate to engage or aggress upon them, but, you know, similarly, at that point, your ability to disengage and dodge is also gone.
Yeah, you're very committed, and, you know, you hope that the Dawn is good and the Speckle is good. If the fight suddenly starts looking bad and your Spectre doesn't want to come in, you know, you've already played your hand, right? Like, you're kind of praying that there isn't some amazing boat coming out, there isn't some, you know, some water park that makes fighting a nightmare. They got killed on the Venom bottom. I missed that, but it's solid. The Spectre's having a very good game though, all around.
Yeah, I think to still have, like, you know, 31 CS at 6 minutes on a spec is great. You're so happy. Because sometimes you're playing that lane in starvation mode, miss the kill on the lifestealer.
Yes. Well, the Spectre's item build is very much so playing for the lane as well. She's went the wand, the wraith band, you know, these things out there don't really help her jungle too much, but also, you know, they make the lane that much easier. You hit harder, tankier.
Yeah.
If she does end up getting booted out for one reason or another, though, she's far away from that blade mail, the farming item. So.
Yeah, so we're at 7 minutes. The Wisdom Runes just spawned. We saw each side take their own. Oh no! I think we had Sunderland sneak it.
Oh, he snuck in. Sneaky little snake.
What a little snake.
What a little snake.
We also haven't seen a lane rotation yet, which is a little surprising, you know, especially with the wave being so close by.
I guess especially, like, you know, the lifestealer Warlock has been pushed up many times, you know, presumably Bermuda chains. Venomatic could have easily snuck in behind them, but I guess, you know, just trying to secure this Spectre's lane. I mean, it's already going amazingly. Spectre has ult, and, I mean, she should be wanting to use it, right? Like, realistically, this Warlock is food. You know, whenever he steps forward to the point that he can get lifted by Rubik, they should just be killing him, I think, you know, with the Speckle. Spectre doesn't have the mana. She sticks, she's good.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, just the Gale. Gale's a rough spell. It can be frustrating to lane into. It is getting a little concerning, the size of the Spectre.
Yeah, as someone who's
played...
as you
said, the Spectre into Lifestealer, you know, as a matchup, it's pretty playable.
Yidles with the double bracer soul ring, so sitting on, what is that, 58 strength.
Yeah,
that's a beefy Dawnbreaker.
A very beefy Dawn. I don't blame I mean, as a Dawn, you kind of want to live in lanes, so it makes sense to kind of stat up, be strong. Although there is the disadvantage that it just means that Lifestealer heals a whole lot.
Another kill in the bot lane. Dota boys are hurting in this lane. That Venom is such a threat.
Yeah, it's very hard for them to really stay alive. They have to be
hurts with the Invoker rotating. Not getting anything out of that.
Yeah, I feel like maybe they've misplayed a little bit in a couple of engagements. I feel like they've maybe a little too scared of the Venom after one or two bad engagements, because I think the biggest weakness of Venom here is even if Venom gales you, like, what's stopping you from just walking at the Venom, right? Obviously, he can run away, but, you know, if he's running away, he's not killing you. Because Expected's a relatively weak hero. I mean, obviously, she's got a bit of a level advantage now, and she's got her ult. She's having some mana issues, but she has ult and dagger. She has, like, a bit of a nuke now. But prior to level 6, you know, well, are you really weaker than them, even if you're galed? I'm not convinced you are. Like, obviously, you're kiteable, but I'd argue not killable.
Seeing a lot of ults start to come online here as well. Be curious to see if we have like a setup for the boat torrent combo. There's a lot of damage potential with that. We also see Invoker rotating Bois. He's gonna get revealed on these creeps, I think. It's daytime vision.
He's in vision. He's in vision. It's a bit of a waste of time. And lane went relatively well for him, but he's wasting a bit of time down there now. The void's.
Oh, he does catch the Venomancer.
Okay, that's good. That's a nice free kill. Bench secures it.
Missed Lauren there. That's alright though.
We'll ignore that the Invoker's right click was heading towards him. It was just a very nice secured kill for the bench. The Invoker's I guess it's what charges. He's pretty close to Spirit Vessel, so he's getting very deadly. Like this prospect Invoker. He's definitely a threat. Obviously, it's hard for him to really punish the Void Spirit, but anyone else in the map is relatively fair game. Both Spec and Dawn are a little hard to kill because they can use their ult to be like, I don't want to play. But even just forcing out those ults. Oh, Dawn is ulting.
It's a very dead bench.
Yeah.
Oh, happy.
Ooh, the 4-man boat, but it's not gonna matter.
You know, I mean, the Void Spirit TPing down as well was a bit excessive, but I understand.
Invoker rotating under the Observer. Center should see this coming behind him.
He seems to have seen it, but the question is, does he have the speed?
Oh,
he has rage.
But no mana from that. Instantly cancels the slow.
Calls that burns a bit too much, I think. Oh no. I was wrong. They didn't have the catch. It's quite sad for them.
4 heroes sitting bot from Witch River, probably taking the tier 1 here. We have the Dawnbreaker queuing up the Desolator, which is a very aggressive choice. I think it can be very punishing, but I think it's also greedy.
Sense. I think it makes sense given all the cores. Like, I think it makes sense to kind of get some damage up because like both the Void and the Spectre will be getting quite tanky. So you don't have to worry too much about being the central pillar for your team, I guess, because you've got those other heroes that can do it. So I think just having more damage is also against the lifesteal. It's very threatening, right?
Right.
Don't give them time to lifesteal.
She's already got the tank side fill as well with
Yeah, they're ahead, right? Buying an item like that so makes it very hard to defend your towers. So you can help them close out the map relatively quickly.
Invis Snake spotted under Sentry mid lane.
We do have the classic Dave patented Bracer Null Talisman build.
Is he going to get the Wraith ban? People would love to know.
I'd love to know.
Is he going to go for a kill? That's why.
I mean, he's harassing the Lifesteal. The Lifesteal can always hop inside a creep right now if he wants to. He probably should. The issue is, he might have done it a bit too late. They very intelligently had already galed that creep. Giving that one step ahead. They're getting the Lifesteal kill. I mean, that stops him from really, getting his armlet online. Once he does have armlet, he's a hero that can hit quite hard. It's scary to kind of go on.
Getting caught out of position a little bit here. Do they have the damage to follow it up and finish it off?
It would be nice if they did get the Venom, because right now Invoker doesn't have any charges. Okay, Dawn goes at the ult as well, which is a bit.
The Invis coming out of the Invoke. Well timed.
Invisibility is invincibility. Dawn should be able to get out. Honestly, just a pretty good trade for Dota Boys.
They doubled their score in one fight.
I think it's big for them because they were behind. The kills are big. Obviously, they lost their lifesteal before that. But even just getting those earn charges on Invoker, I feel, is like so big for them now that he's got Vessel. Like, he's so much more threatening.
Absolutely.
Like, that exact same fight that Invoker has Vessel is a massacre. Like they like, probably kill everyone. Maybe Void Spirit gets out using the spells, but Dawnbreaker wasn't getting out.
That said, you love to be the Spectre in this position where your team is fighting as 4 and you're just doing whatever you want. However, we got a big-ish rotation coming. Ooh.
I mean, she's got her Blade Mail. It stops it. I mean, this might be a kill. Oh, Conker getting a little distracted on the Venom. They'll kill the Venom, but the Spec is...
Spec's who you want to kill here if you have the opportunity to.
I mean...
Ooh, infesting the Punka for the speed.
This is good. I'm gonna say they have another... Aren't they gonna throw out? There we go.
Nice. Good pick off.
It looks like this only happened because the Dawn committed the ult in that last fight. You know, it was ult that essentially achieved nothing, right? It was used to try and save the Venom in the last fight.
Right.
If anything, it actually saved the Invoker's life, because if the Dawn had just been punching the Invoker rather than ulting...
I didn't see that the Void Spirit had gone in there. I had completely looked off of that lane.
Yeah, I actually looked away, because it would have been very brave for a hero to rotate into the 5 of Dire that had shown.
Brave is a very kind way.
Yeah.
We love all players in Mage League equally.
Yeah, it's I mean, Radiant are throwing away their lead right now, and I think that is scary for them. Because while Spectre is a hero that's like it's quite a classic comeback hero, I adamantly believe that they always have the team to play into Spectre.
Yeah, they definitely are going to hit some mid-game timings here where I think, like, even at a slightly lower level, they'll be a bigger threat. Especially because, like I said, we see some of the greedier items coming out here, like the Deso on the Dawn. I mean, there's certainly an opportunity.
Yeah, but when they were 7k ahead, Deso was like, yeah, man, just kind of, you know, push your lead. But now it's only a 3k lead, and the Deso, it definitely gives some openings for some counterplay. I'm curious, is the Kunkka heading towards... Kunkka's with Blade Mail, fair enough. I mean, Blade Mail alone is pretty good against that Deso.
Initiating on the Kunkka. Kunkka's got a Blade Mail up. He's throwing his shit out.
Beautiful wombo combo.
Love it. Oh,
that was so well played. I mean, they're going to kill Kunkka, but like at the same time, that's just your consolation prize.
Okay.
Yeah, he takes that. I mean, they could have denied him if they had been a little
There was
bit,
an opportunity.
They get that Kunkka, but that's 3k lead is now 1k lead. It's very quickly falling for Witch River. They're overplaying their hand a little bit. They were 7k ahead. They felt it. They got a bit over eager. Lost some dumb deaths, and now it's an even game.
Yeah,
and
again they started that fight without the Solar Guardian ready too. I mean, as I said at the draft phase, there's big team fight and there's constant team fight out of Dota Boys with sort of their spells, and Witch River is going to be a bit more sensitive how they initiate these fights and how they kind of control and maintain the team fights. They're really dependent on that Solar Guardian, that Shadow Step.
I feel like a lot of these fights, the Egress on the Void Spirit is going in after the fact, right? He is the second initiator, right? Like the Dawn is normally the one going in first, and I think you really need it the other way around. You need the Void to go in to be, baiting out some spells, and then if he does get caught, then there's the Solar Guardian to keep him alive. But he's a lot harder to kill than the Dawn is. The Dawn may have more HP, more armor, but the Void has 2 spells. They can dodge. You can use to dodge things, and a 3rd spell to tank up. So it's I think maybe some restructuring of the Radiant team fight needs to happen.
Absolutely, and like we said, they do have that global presence, so they're doing the smart thing here. You've got the Spec farming one side of the map and the Dawn farming the other.
Yeah,
we see
it's
the Dota
exactly
Boys.
what they need to do. Pressure towers, make it hard for Dota Boys to play as 5. I mean, in that last fight, Dota Boys didn't even have to use their biggest cooldown armor, right? They didn't have to use the Golem. I think it was still on cooldown from the fight before, but the fact that they had such one more combo without this extra stun, this extra damage. Obviously, the chains were still there, the upheaval was still there, but it was basically just tornado into boat. It was essentially all it was. So things can go worse.
Absolutely. We've got the Lifestealer with an armlet building into the Desolator. Fairly standard build. Huge fight popping off mid. They've got the Invoker caught out. Yep. There's the Solar Guardian we were looking for. That's a good pick off.
Like I say, that was both their ults, right? Obviously they're now on cooldown for 2 minutes. They need to breathe while this, like, I guess this is kind of the issue with the Spectre Dawn, is that Spectre's got received so many buffs to the cooldown roll that Dawn is a bit of a limiting factor. But Dawn can play with the team while her ult's off cooldown, or on cooldown even.
If you're a fan of Radiant's top tower, I'd shut my eyes right now.
We're heading towards the second item, Echo Saber. Personally, I feel if you're going Echo Saber, normally you'd go first, but
we also have day and night between the support item builds on Witch River and on Dota Boys. So Dota Boys, you've got the Glimmer Cape on the Warlock, you've got the Solar Crest on the Venge, whereas slightly greedier build, slightly might be an understatement. You've got the Veil on the Venomancer, and you've got the Aether Lens on the Rubik. Rubik going back for the Glimmer Cape afterwards, maybe understanding that needs to be ready in case there's a bad Astral Step, there's a aggressive Solar Guardian, you know, maybe you're initiating on more than you thought.
If your Void Spirit gets caught without his Dissimilate on by an X or something, it's quite nice just to Glimmer him so he can tank up a little bit through the boat and whatnot. Interestingly, there's the funny interaction, you know, between Veil and Glimmer Cape and Pipe and whatnot now, and the Veil does damage to the magic barrier, right? Which is an interesting little interaction. I don't think it's the end of the world, but 200 extra damage is it's nice.
Absolutely.
Curious to see how well Radiant piece together their team fight. Their cooldowns are coming off. The cooldowns are coming up again. Like they're ready to fight. Dawn has got the Echo Saber, I believe, coming out, so she's gonna be very beefy, very hard hitter at the same time.
I did notice we have power treads on the Invoker, which I feel is kind of an atypical boot build for the Invoker.
I don't know. I assume it's relatively normal since it became universal. I don't know the build too well. I mean, I know a lot of Invokers have went, you know, just towards those style and, you know, right-clicky builds since it became universal. Got a little bit more normalized, but back to a standard Quaswex Invoker build when Spirit Vessel got its buffs to be better for universal heroes, but that was mostly just an early game fighting item. That I still think they do go into right-click-esque builds. So I'm not too surprised by the treads. I don't know. I think a lot of Invokers go bots, but I think it's probably even Brown Boots bots as the normal build. But treads, it makes sense.
So, Witch River getting a pick off on a Kunko while that was going on. The Dawnbreaker going back for the Echo Saber after the Desolator, which I think is smart. You do want some of that gap close, some of that additional control in these fights, I think. Warlock goes off. Does the Rubik get the steal? Rubik gets a steal. Second Warlock down. But the Dawnbreaker is already dead.
But the Dawnbreaker's dead. I mean, the damage is already done, you know. Both golems can exist, but Rubik's is kind of uglier.
Invoker chasing a double damage Void Spirit. I don't know if this is...
Oh, I didn't realize the lifesteal helped inside of the Warlock Golem. He's the Warlock Golem's chasing, but I don't think they realized that there's a lifestealer inside.
Alright.
Do they have a way to stop
the double damage? Guess where he goes? He's got the Astral Step out, but the Venomancer's out of position here. Oh, what a Sunstrike from the Invoker.
That's gonna feel bad for Egress, the Invoker player who's known for his Sunstrikes.
Absolutely.
Nice getting his
off on this Rubik, who's invisible. Oh, and the Warlock with a tiebreaker.
He's gonna feel bad for Sanix, the known Kunko player.
Getting the Uno reverse out of the Dota Boys here against Witch River. Love it.
I mean, they're taking Witch River to town right now, and like, you know, for the first time in the game, they're now, you know, they're ahead, right? I mean, if you look at the graph, you know, excluding a brief moment at 1 minute into the game, this is the first time they've been ahead in gold. So, you know, net worth's even, gold's essentially even, but the game, I mean, win probability is actually now in their favor, which I think, as we all said, like, this Spectre isn't as strong as you might think she is. Like,
I think the big part is the lifestealer as well. It's
yeah,
the first time
the
he's
thing.
been close in
net worth.
yeah. Spectre.
And so a lot of the net worth for Radiant is in this Dawnbreaker, which I don't know, it's a strong hero, but as a hero, it's not the most valuable hero to have your net worth in. You know, I think you'd much rather take 2k off of Dawn and give it to your Void Spirit, but, you know, much better scaling hero. But
so So while all this has been going on, though, the Spectre still remains uncontested. Do you think the Spec's been able to do enough with the space that she's been afforded?
I mean, she's got a lot of her big items, right? Like she's got, you know, Manta lets her do a lot of damage with the Desolate. And once she gets towards Skadi, she becomes, you know, very hard to kill. She becomes that hero who's going after ignoring fights. But I think, as I said earlier, I think lifesteal into the Spectre, I feel like in the late game isn't as grim as a lot of other Spectre like games are. Like right now,
in position now.
Well, like I say, the lifesteal's just pummeling her. And they don't have quite the damage to really pressure her, not without, you know, maybe an extra damage item or two coming out. Maybe if there was a wave of terror. They have Golem. They might have been able to commit for that Spectre, but I guess they didn't quite know the location of Dawn. You know, she's nowhere nearby. If she had been nearby, maybe they were worried about a Dawn ult even though it's on cooldown. I think they maybe could have killed the Spectre there if they had committed to it. That's it. Sorry.
Going for the Tormentor.
Getting the Minatoman10. I mean, it's a pretty good shot, Jess. This is the one that stuns.
It is, and I think if the Lifestealer tries to rage it off, the Lifestealer becomes stunned. So
yeah,
bit
it
of a
stuns for
counter
BKB.
there.
It's a very strong shot, like especially against heroes that like you know are going to rely on BKB. Like wasting almost 2 seconds of someone's BKB is very strong effect. So yeah, I think it's a very good like just free stun to throw onto Lifestealer. Not much Lifestealer can do about it.
Yep.
He just has to tank this 1.6 second stun.
And the Lifestealer had the Basher queued up previously, now going back for the BKB. You know, probably sick of getting kited from all these Venom slows, but as we just said, you know, with the shard, it's going to be a lot harder to rage.
It's more frustrating,
BKB.
right? Like, it's not a game over by any means. Like, you can't afford to be stunned for 1.6 seconds. Like, I don't think whichever are never really gonna be blowing up the Lifestealer, right? In that sort of time frame, but it just made the game feel a little bit harder. But still, yeah, it's focused down the Venom, getting him done. The issue is he just get hit by. Oh no. Lifestealer's getting scared, but I don't know if he necessarily has to be this scared. I don't know if his team is scared.
His BKB's in his backpack right now.
Oh, this is true.
Not happy.
Oh, you think it's not making it out for him.
Yeah, that's a full wipe, only at the cost of the Venomancer.
Yeah, good clear from much further. I didn't really see what happened to the supports in that fight, but I guess they got grabbed. There was a golem used, but it seems to have just gotten killed.
It was good initiation onto the Invoker, killing him early, and he has a lot of the lockdown.
I'm guessing that the Dawn somehow managed to kill both supports, because she did almost 7,000 damage in that fight. I'm guessing that both supports were clumped up and just got murdered by one swing of the hammer.
They're actually able to get 4 Starbreakers off over the course of that fight, so yeah.
Yeah.
If not one good one, maybe 4 okay ones, and that
maybe
should be enough.
decent ones, yeah. Dawn now has the harpoon as well, which helps a lot with like just kind of lining up the Starbreaker. So it's very dangerous for supports to go anywhere near the Storm. I think towards the AC as well, which is like, yeah, it's a lot of damage. It also mitigates a decent chunk of the damage from Dota Boys, at least on that Lifestealer. But both Lifestealer and Invoker kind of getting a decent amount of physical. Concorious also does, you know, still just some with that Tidebringer. He's not quite fallen off into irrelevancy in terms of right clicks, because not that late into the game. But the water power did just come off. He's got his axe now. You know, it's an extra bunch of stuns that they need to worry about on Bush River, and no one on that team is heading towards a BKB. So they fighting into the water park is
casters are surprised.
Yeah, it's not too surprising.
It was unfortunate too. So at the start of the fight, the Invoker popped the 9-second BKB while Ghost walked, and they had put a sentry down. It looked like maybe there was a moment of panic or uncertainty as he stood still with the BKB up and died.
They do need maybe a little bit of just positioning, like slightly better positioning on this Invoker and the supports, because we've seen some of the fights, right? If Invoker and Warlock are not, you know, taken out at the start of the fight, The wombo combo is strong. There's the even just chains, meatball chains, tornado into boat with chains. It's like there's a lot of damage that can come out, a lot of control. So it's scary for whichever they're playing. If there's a smoke going on, I mean, they can't quite see anything. It's nighttime. Nighttime smokes are very hard to pull off. You don't really get much of an advantage.
Where this Veno is, they see the Veno ward down. They see the trail of Veno wards.
He's slipping out. Oh, Warlock has found him.
Warlock doesn't want to be there.
Veno throws the shard out on Warlock, which is interesting. The Gale on the Venge, I mean, he's very out of position. This is just a dead Veno. To take those, it's better than nothing, right? I mean, nighttime smokes are very dangerous.
Meanwhile, though, I mean, you've got a spec farming and you've got a Dawnbreaker freely farming.
Yeah,
so it's still the pressure's there for Dota boys to get some objectives accomplished. You've got a team fight now. You can take the 5v4 fight, but is there really anything on the map for them to do for the next 30 seconds?
Yes, I don't think there's much for them to take advantage of other than just delaying the game. But the most interesting part to me is that the Dawn's just finished the AC, so it's. We'll see if whichever force a fight with that, because that's a very big timing right now.
Absolutely. And with 18 charges on the Desolator already, that is a heavy hitting Dawn.
Heavy hitting Dawn. Yeah, she is not to be taken lightly. She's fat. Been a very close game though. I mean, it's still, either team could take this. I mean, the win part about it says it all. It's pretty much 50-50.
No
Don't
detection.
want to come out to the Veno.
No, they tried. We got a cold snap onto the Void Spirit. Spectre initiating pretty far up front.
There's the Dawn, though. The real scary hero.
We got the puddle down.
Yeah, the water park's going to town, but they're just struggling with the damage, and I mean, I'm just really focusing in on the Spectre. It's not making things easy for themselves.
Dead Invoker.
Yeah.
Warlock trying to slow it down, trying to secure the Lifestealer escape. Maybe has it. Gets a Force Staff away.
Yeah, I mean, there's no enemy needs to ever kill Lifestealer, and Lifestealer should be able to react to anything Wood does. Yeah, he just gets out.
Spec still walking through the base.
That is not the play. I mean, I'm amazed that there was not. I'm amazed there was not a buyback on someone there to kill the Spectre, because that's just a free kill.
Yeah, very bold play out of Ian Ray there.
Yeah, it's Clanray getting a bit brave.
Doesn't know that the Lifestealer doesn't have buyback, but if the Lifestealer could have bought back in that fight, that would have been very scary.
Oh, Dawn? Ooh. Honestly, I'm not sure you wanted to bring Dawn back. I think you wanted to let her go and take her team, but...
she notched it. Heartbreaker on the other side. Got the magic.
I genuinely think you should have let her go and try to maybe take the Void Spirit who was standing right behind her. There's a patch on this Lifestealer. He's definitely a threatening hero. I really like the way the game's going. He's constantly just like one item behind where.
Initiation onto the Spectre. Spectre below half HP. We got the Dawnbreaker ult to counter initiate.
Oh, Spectre.
But the Spec moves out of the Dawnbreaker ult. Doesn't get the full heal effect. There is some confusion. There was a swap to pull the Spec away from the Lifestealer momentarily.
Oh, Lifestealer
getting stunned by the Venom Shard.
Maybe this Lifestealer needs to buy a shard. The open moves probably have him a lot with this Kai he's struggling with. Nope, gets a further inverter for 3 seconds.
Ton of damage at this point.
What broke them there?
Were they the whatever flavor creeps have the break?
Yeah, I saw that like 2 heroes on the rating got broken though. Yeah, I'm guessing they happened to be in that camp and slapped them. Very interested.
Few unfortunate fights here out of Dota boys. It feels like this might be the beginning of.
It's definitely getting to the point where it's been some very sad fights. Like I think they're maybe fixating a little bit too much on this Spectre when the real enemy of the state is probably the Dawn. The Void Spirit's hard to kill, but if you go on him, you can force him out of the fight. The Dawn is like the Dawn is so much damage that you need to get her out of the fight. Threaten her, and maybe even just kill the squishy supports, right? But when you go on the Spectre, right, like, the Spectre's doing the classic Spectre build, tank up. She's getting towards the butterfly now to become more of a threat, but at the end of the day, she doesn't have the butterfly. And until she doesn't, she's not that threatening. She's quite ignorable in fights, I guess.
So if you're Dota boys and you're maybe thinking about the second game as this first one's likely to wrap up, they're not out yet, but do you prioritize banning the Dawnbreaker, knowing that they've got
definitely. I mean, the hero's crazy strong, and I know you're fighting by the Spectre, right? I don't think the Spectre has been necessarily the most frustrating. Like you can ban it if you want to. I think it's definitely a good hero because the Spectre's been able to farm and join fights easily. It makes playing the game easier, right? You don't have to stress about being near your team. But I think the Dawn is the hero that's kind of made a nightmare. The laning stage of the Dawn is frustratingly hard to play into. The post laning stage, trying to kill anything while Solar Guardian's off cooldown, like in the early game, it's just so much heal early that there's not much you can do about it. And then obviously, we've seen here that if she has a good game, she can deal damage. She may not be the best scaling hero, but I mean, when she's almost 10k gold ahead of anyone on your team, points for effort. But unfortunately, Dawn has a lot of damage.
Yeah, Dawn nearly 6 slotted here. The phase boost, the overwhelming blink, the desolator, the silver
Witchblade, which implies that she's going towards not Witchblade, sorry, Mage Slayer.
Mage Slayer for the Bloodthorn, right?
Yeah, the Bloodthorn. I guess just to force the BKB out of the Lifestealer, and I guess make an Invoker can't go with this. It's not like this one is a bad item. It's a very weird one for me to see on Dawn, I guess. I'm sure his Dota Plus is telling him he's taking 1 billion magic damage. So he's decided that he wants some magic resist. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, and if you close the gap on something like the Warlock, you've got the silence to ensure that the chaotic offering doesn't go off. Give Dota boys a moment to counter.
Useless, but it's just a very weird item choice.
What is he building towards the Bloodthorn?
Well, he's playing a Mage Slayer as 6th line, so I mean, the only growth for his hero past that point is what Moonshard, Ags, and Bloodthorn. Unless he starts selling items, but in that case, why do you buy a Mage Slayer? So I would assume he's going to head towards Bloodthorn. I suspect part of it is he essentially just wanted a mana regen item because he's getting rid of his Soul Ring. And so he just decided he wanted an Orchid. That sounds like something he would do.
So that said, we have still 0 BKBs on Witch River. So if you're Dota boys, are you praying that you can get a 5-man fatal bonds off and
hit
all your
I think
spells?
That's the goal, right? Like if they go in together and you're able to just slam a chaotic offering bonds, I mean, the Warlock's heading towards Ags. But maybe it should just be the refresher because let's be real, the Golem doesn't really do much. It's if you go refresher, you get double fail bonds. That's a dream fight, right? And in Witch River they've shown this game that they can be a little bit overeager at times. So
I'd say they have a little bit of paralysis now, even trying to figure out how to close out the game. I mean,
there's definitely a fear of the high ground fight. I mean, it is a wombo combo, right? Like going high ground scary. They don't have any hero like that Venge that can just kind of force the fight. There's some nice harass onto these heroes, but overall, I mean, all we're really doing is delaying the push. Okay, Spectre doesn't have any easy way to heal other than going back to base, so it'll take a while before they probably try doing anything crazy on the side ground.
Similarly, Spec with the Butterfly, Scotty, Manta, Blade Mail looking to swap out the one for a Basher, probably into the Abyssal. A little bit more lockdown in the fight.
Probably helps to commit onto the Invoker more than anything. Maybe the Warlock if they want to try and stop the bombs before the fight starts.
Wish River heading to Roche, trying to get the Aegis
Further,
to feel
just-
comfortable
yeah.
going into that high ground, like we said.
Throw an Aegis. I mean, I would argue you should maybe just put this Aegis on the Dawn, let her punch the tower, but I think Specs is such a good Aegis carry, you probably just put it on her anyway.
Not the most accurate name.
We'll see. I mean, Wish River, they've thrown some leads already this game. We'll see if they can throw this one. I don't think it's an easy lead to throw, but hey.
It's big. 23k.
I mean, yes, but against the chains, you know, against the all the Invoker stuff, it's, you know, there's worries. I mean, the biggest issue for Dire right now, you know, for Dota Boys is that both Conqueror and Invoker have been struggling. I mean, even Lifesteal have been struggling to get gold for so long. They've just been kind of starved.
Yeah, the Invoker still, you know, only a few completed items here. Just the Vessel.
I mean,
and
he only got
BKB.
BKB like, you know, 15 minutes ago, and ever since he's built a 4-star. I don't know. I don't say we can buy back. He just got deleted by this blank on the ground.
Miss.
A nice swap from Bench. The Water Park's doing some work, but that damage from the Storm. I mean, but the Cold Snap and the... Okay. Interesting. He's brought back on the Lifestealer. It's looking like it might be the beginning of the... Well, not the beginning, the end of the end. It's rough. And that Venomancer shard is actually doing so much work against this Lifestealer. Just not only to play the game. I mean, I wouldn't blame Dota Boys if they wanted to call it here. It's lost their Kunkka. They've got no Golem. Yeah, it's fair. It was a good game.
Absolutely. Yeah, very close, very interesting in the mid game. I mean, like we said, we saw the
All it
swings
took
of
was a couple bad fights. Yeah. That's all it took, was just one or two bad fights where maybe they're focusing on Dota Boys kind of gave them an all or nothing fight against that Spectre. But hey, could have easily been the other way around.
Absolutely.
I'm going to focus on getting the next lobby up.
Okay, I'm keeping stream live between
Yes.
matches in the series here, just because it's too much to shut it down and bring it back up. I can look into cutting out this stuff when I do uploads, though. Upload in, you know, either 2 or 3 videos, depending on how this plays out. Looking at the post game here, though, yeah, I mean, Yidle's Dawnbreaker, highest damage by 6,000. Massive impact. The spec didn't really need to show up because the Dawnbreaker was doing the show up for just about everyone else.
Yeah, the Dawnbreaker was kind of the star of the show. And, like, you know, a lot of the predictions, the earliest ones I was making, where the Lifestealer was gonna, I guess, just bully the Spectre as the game went on. Didn't really happen because the Spectre wasn't the problem.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you know, like I said, I think it was unfortunate that you went for this BKB on the Lifestealer, and just dealing with that Veno shard every fight, getting stunned. Really unfortunate to fight into. I also think the Invoker probably has some regret for not getting a Midas that game. I mean, just really shut down. Only 154 CS over the course of the game on a Midas-less Invoker. I mean, you were mentioning, yeah, got the BKB. Let's take a look at the graph here. Got the BKB at the 24-minute mark, let's call it. And then, you know, 36-minute mark got the 4-staff. So 12 minutes to get a 4-staff as an Invoker while so many things are happening in the game. It's just real unfortunate that you're not able to progress in your items on a hero who gets a lot of mileage out of items. So, Mina, before I join the next lobby, is the password posted in chat?
It is not.
Okay. Play Dota. That's nice of the Dota client to hide the password as I type it in.
Beautiful. So, would you like to hop into the casting booth?
Look, is muted.
He was a good kid.
Nice knowing him.
That first game, honestly, a very good first game. I'm very happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, we had
The graph is a little
game.
funny. The graph is a little funny to look at. The win graph.
Yeah.
Some throwing going on, here and there.
Absolutely. You know, like I said, I think if you go into the mid game against a team with a lot of team fight control and there's like 0 BKBs and very limited defensive items on your team, you're gonna suffer.
Yeah.
Eventually, it got to a point though where it didn't matter because the Dawn was deleting, you know, some of your major team fight casters at the start of fights. But
They definitely had an issue with positioning against like the Dawn. The Dawn, I think, was going to town a lot on their backline, which really you should be hoping not to have that happen. And part of that came from it, but towards the end, part of it was just a gold deficit, right? Like it doesn't really matter how well this Dawn's blinking in. Realistically, the Dawn shouldn't be able to delete your Invoker the way she did in that last fight. But that's what happens when the Dawn has 15,000 more gold than Invoker. Over double the Invoker's net worth. The game had just snowballed into a point where this Dawn was a bit of a monster.
absolutely.
You're streaming the lobby, right?
Yeah. I mean, that I feel like that's fair banter. These guys are wild.
Yeah. Waiting for Dave to get ready. So
Dave's
it's
stuck in toilet. Oh, and he's in.
Okay, beautiful. I was gonna say as the official leader of Mage League, do you care about the rulings on the coin flips post first game and stuff?
Last time we did it, just the opposite of
Yes, that's what.
first game, so I figured we'll do that going forwards. I'm not actually aware of how other leagues do it.
So I was going to just say, whoever lost the coin flip gets pick in the second game.
Yeah.
But then these guys were like, we don't care. And I was like, fine, I'll just do another coin flip. So I think for this one, I'm going to do a coin flip because they've all said they don't care.
As long as the team said they're happy.
What is at this point? That's the main thing. As long as they're happy. I'm very curious to see the change in the draft this next game.
Well,
I think Dawn. Yeah, I mean,
it's going to be the first change.
It's a pretty broken hero. Fair to ban it. But post that, I mean, will Witch River change their strategy? Will they not bother with the Spectre if they don't have the Dawn? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure anyone else on the Witch River side was as overly impactful. Maybe in a different scenario, Spec has the room to shine, but
well, yeah, I mean, part of the thing about Spectre is that part of her strength is kind of when you're actually just trying to kill her, it's hard, right? But they never really got around to really having a good attempt at trying to kill her in the late game because, well, they didn't get to live long enough to try. So we'll see. We'll see if maybe a different selection in this off lane lets the P1 have more time to shine. But last game was the Dawn game. It was the Dawn show. Which are we getting rid of the Witch Doctor? Pretty fair, When the other team has first pick, just you don't want to deal with that hero.
There we go.
Yeah, yep. Dawn ban. It's you've got to respect it. It's just a good hero. We'll see if Dota boys still want to respect the Bristle. I think it's a very strong hero personally. It's not a strong laner though, so it's got that weakness. What was the first pick on Witch River's side? It was the Dawn, and then the first pick on Dota boys was they still
the
got
Warlock.
The Warlock.
The Warlock started the draft, and then it was the Dawn, the Rubik.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll be interested if Dota boys still prioritize Warlock. I mean, I think it was doing fine in the last game. I don't think they utilized it perfectly in the laning stage. So I personally would like to see them lean away from it and just maybe pick a stronger laning support if they don't really know how to abuse the chains in lane. Interesting gyro ban. Did they ban gyro last game in the first place?
I can't recall. We got a Rubik respect ban out of the Dota boys as well. Maybe they want the Warlock now, but they're worried about the risk of getting their golem stolen. Yeah, lots of really nice golem ults. There was one in the mid game near the river where the Dawn was ulting in where it was a second early. I could see what the Warlock was trying to do, make the Warlock ult. The golems dropped the second the Dawnbreaker landed. Just a second early. So unfortunate. But they've made sure the Warlock.
Like I said, they have made sure that the Warlock will not be a problem for them. no golems coming out on their team today. That might be a case of they didn't want the player to play the same hero twice, but I personally, I like it. I think just picking a stronger laning support will probably do wonders for them because, Warlock, as far as laning goes, he relies a lot on the other hero being strong, and the lifestealer can't really abuse it as much. And I think they could have done things better in the lane. I think honestly, you pick a generically strong support like an Treant Protector, a Jakiro, an Ogre Magi, just some generic lane support that just does stuff. I think you're probably going to you set yourself up for a better game.
They are aware of their ban, right?
They're really thinking about this ban.
Absolutely.
Just always double check there's no
violence.
There was a question for you in the chat, Slug.
A question for me? Yeah. Hell no. I'd love to have all the free time in the world.
Yeah, Witch River first picking the Invoker. So that's where the Silencer ban came from. They want to make sure that their Invoker can get off all the spells.
Yeah,
in a given...
I think that first pick Invoker is very brave because I can tell you right now, that's not a support Invoker. Whether or not Dota boys are aware it's a support Invoker, I'm not sure. Maybe Tyler's like, dude, I struggled last game. It was rough. I just want a hero I'm comfortable on. I don't care if they can't pick me. PA first pick. I don't think PA is that good since the patch. I think the patch kind of killed up, but
still a bit of a wild card. A lot of potential. I mean, there's with the RNG at coup de
Also,
grace, it's
a
like
strong laner. So there's that.
absolutely.
As you know, as a hero going into Invoker, she is able to, unless Invoker's got a lot of stat items, she's able to blow him up quite quickly. She's quite scary for him to play into.
And Nature's Prophet is still in the pool. Like we said, has been nerfed. Not.
I still think he's pickable. I just don't think he's as the biggest concern for me right now after the changes he got. He still has some decent lane harass. Still just a good attack range. So I think he's still pretty pickable. Still a solid enough hero. But yeah, I think it's also fine to not pick him up. I don't think you necessarily have to.
So Dota boys, do you get a defensive support here to try to help sustain this PA during the laning phase? Maybe where the PA isn't the strongest.
I think the PA is not that bad in lane. She can secure last hits with dagger. As long as she's not going up against some sort of really good 1v1 melee hero like an axe. I think as long as your support's able to keep their pos 4 in check. I don't think she tends to have that bad of a time. I mean, they go for the Geo hero. That's just a solid laning support. A lot of harass from Brief Fire. I'm a big fan of the Jakiro support. I think it does a lot for you in the laning stage and just has an overall solid impact going through with Ice Path and Macro Pyre fights.
And there's the Nature's Prophet.
Okay, I go for it.
Which, you've got PA who can Blink Strike to get out of Sprout if they try to go for that route. Jakiro can take care of Treants in the team.
The one thing I would point out though is that Witch River as a team, I don't think they really have a Prophet player.
They do.
They have Yiddles, but
yes.
Yiddles is a P3. Are they going to play at P3?
I think they just might.
I think after the nerfs, I would be reluctant to play at P3, because he is very killable early levels. After that 40 HP reduction, it's a good chunk of his HP just gone. Hero had probably 560 base HP or something, I guess. That's a pretty hefty chunk of his HP just missing.
Well, and if it is the Nature's Prophet, are they secretly setting up another global thing here with the Sunstrike, the teleport, and could we see a spec out of Witch River?
They could go spec again. They have to think though, because they're running out of time. They have 20 seconds left in their reserve time.
Surprised they're not going for a Venom again at this point.
Shadow Demon. That's a Sanix Shadow Demon.
Yeah, comfort pick for Sanix. I suspect it's Dave on this Prophet. I feel like Dave could play Prophet. I haven't seen him play it too much. We'll see how well he does. I'm interested to find out.
Shadow Demon able to slow down the PA during some of the team fights, though. It's a pretty good pick. The PA illusions, especially. I mean, you can just send those after some of the enemy supports, and we'll just absolutely delete them. As the
they can't crit. Is the only issue, but.
Oracle. So yeah, as I thought earlier,
Oracle PA is a classic, right? I mean, especially once Oracle if Oracle's able to get Farm of an Ag somehow, it's a very scary combo with the PA.
Absolutely.
She's essentially immortal, right? She gets so much lifesteal off of Blink Strike that she'll be healed to full after the Oracle ends, and in that time, assuming the PA's got her 4 classic items, the Battle Fury, Deso, BKB, Ags, if she has an Oracle on her, she's just jumping between heroes, and there's not a whole lot you can do to stop her, right? I mean, I guess to be fair, against the Shadow Demon, there is that orb, but obviously if she's got BKB up, then there are issues.
Absolutely, and one of the concerns I see with the Witch River draft now is there's not really a way to get to the back line. I mean, you've got the Jakiro and the Oracle who, if left uncontested, are going to be so disruptive during team fights, and
the question
there's
is
some far-reaching spells, but
yeah,
where's your Blink Initiator out of Witch River?
The question for that is Yiddles playing the Pos 3 Prophet? Because if he's playing the Pos 3 Prophet, depending on his item build, he can just appear. It is a Pos 3 Prophet. Interesting.
Before Lion, yep.
So they have the Prophet that can just, obviously appear on the back line. He's got to be very careful, right? Because, there's PA that can just go on him. There's now a Raw that can just, ruin his life. I like Beastmaster a lot as a hero. Interested to see how well it does in lane against whichever are going to pick for LAN right here.
Yeah, Beastmaster strong laner. With the whirling axes, you've got a way to if your supports get sprouted, you've got a ranged way of clearing.
Yeah, you can get them out.
The hawk.
You can just search for the Prophet as well if he's split pushing. He has good search. So
the drums as well as the
little bit of
clear up for the treants as those are coming through.
It's actually a very good clear for the treants between the Jakiro, the Oracle, and the Beastmaster. PA will also be building a Battlefield. So yeah, the treants. Obviously with current map, Nature's Prophet, you don't care too much about treants, but as a P3, they tend to level them a little bit earlier, do a bit more split pushing. From my history of both playing Prophet and seeing Yields play Prophet, I think me and him play it very similar. We're both terrible at the hero in my opinion. We're very much so greedy Prophets that farm. We're huge, but we are terrible at playing with and for the team. So I imagine he'll be leveling those trees, doing a lot of split pushing. We'll see if he's better than I am for it, but we'll see how much of an impact he has.
Well, I've heard from them that he's been doing a lot of the shot calling, so it wouldn't surprise me if he plays it a little bit more actively.
Oh, Yields was doing a lot of the shot calling for the that's interesting. It's pretty good for a P3. Bit more confusing on a Prophet, but I guess it's globally available. Sven, solid hero. I don't know.
He did get nerfed a little bit, but not.
He got nerfed a little bit. I'm not sure how well he matches up into PA though. I feel like Sven into PA Oracle Beastmaster instinctively, I feel like that's not good. But
it is a very greedy set of cores coming out of Witch River, which I think we're kind of expectant of at this point in time, having seen them both.
I've spoke to them about it, and that Yields likes to play a very greedy offlane. Tyler's known for playing his Invoker, which is a very greedy mid laner. So they're predestined to have 3 greedy cores, I guess. I know this Sven pick to me feels not great. I feel like he's naturally just bad against 3 of the heroes already showing the Dota boys, but maybe I'm wrong. Quap for the mid lane. I'm not the biggest fan of Quap, in current patch.
Right.
I also think playing Quap into Lion is a bit rough.
But like we previously
solid laner.
Like the last draft though, Witch River kind of lacking that lockdown. So if you're designating your Lion from holding the Quap still, there are a lot of spells that can both save the Quap, as well as that you want to try to mitigate from your team. It'll be interesting.
I'll be interested to see what impact this Quap has on the game. I personally find it hard to have too much impact of this Quap on the game right now, but the hero's a little weak. But maybe the doctor knows more than I do about the hero, because I'll be honest with you, I know a lot.
Absolutely. Do we have Slug and Mina? Do you guys have prediction? Who's gonna, based on draft alone, who's taking game 2 here?
I really don't like this Sven.
I agree. I don't know the Dota boys well enough to know if it's a fair statement, but Witch River are all on very comfortable heroes. I think they all, other than Dave on the Lion, which is a little uncomfortable. They're all playing heroes they play a lot. So I'd give them an edge in that regard. I think I would have said Dota boys if not for this Quap. And I feel like this. I don't see how this Quap is going to have
You ready? Let's
an
go.
impact in this game. But I'll be happy to be proven wrong. But I think Witch River have advantage.
Slug, would you like to share?
But no, I stand by what I said. I don't like the Sven. By draft alone, I would say
You are a true friend.
Dota boys have the advantage in my eyes, but I do know how ESLs plays this Prophet. I do know he's going to be oppressive,
Yeah.
whether he helps his team or not, and I think that could tilt things in Witch River's favor.
Witch River saw Dota boys approaching. Sven in the back here. I don't know if they have additional lockdown to keep him slowed down. Ooh, the
Another
big
big
blood grenade.
another
out.
blood
Shadow
grenade.
Bombing.
A lot of damage, even if they don't kill him. Second blood grenade. There we go. They get
got
their
him.
first blood.
That's a Sven dead right away, starting the game. Bob taking some tower shots there. That didn't feel
You're getting a
good.
third breathe fire off. A whiff to the Sunstrike. Somebody check that man.
Can caster sip? No.
All right,
Unfortunately, we
let's
cannot.
Unfortunately not. I would love to be tipping him every time he misses Sunstrike.
Copyright 2022, Cave Johnson.
Yeah, I think to weigh in my own opinion, I'm favorable to the Dota boys. I also love to see, you know, tight matchups. I'd be so happy for this to get to a 3-game series, but might not get my wish. But I also like sort of the versatility and the divergence from the meta that from the Dota boys here. I mean, Witch River picked a lot of very meta heroes. The Beastmaster, the Quap, they've kind of not been as popular of late.
I mean, Beastmaster's been a pretty like alternate hero, not the OP Dawn or the Brewmaster, but it's been kind of that third hero that's been showing up a decent amount.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this top lane Oracle PA into Lion Prophet. I feel like this Lion Prophet's actually quite a scary duo. You know, the Sprout with Lion Stun is yeah, it's a little scary for this Oracle to go near.
Absolutely, but you know, the PA also always able to just sit back, dagger the creeps to farm.
Yeah,
you know,
the PA
blank
should
around
hopefully be okay. I'm only a little worried about that the Oracle maybe feeding a little bit. Although, I mean, Lion getting low.
You know, if this is a high skill Oracle player too, I mean, I've seen Oracles once they hit level 3 get that second level in Purifying Flame. You get the double Purifying Flame with the
Purge, yeah.
The Fortune's End coming out, and you've taken off a good 400 health.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah. I mean, I'm not an Oracle player myself, I struggled to have an impact on the hero, but I've definitely seen some Oracles really go to town with it.
Absolutely. No critters out of the Beastmaster. I think I'm sort of out of the meta with how Beastmasters play these
I don't
days.
think
My Dota Plus is suggested against buying them, but I like having friends in lane, so I'm a fan of the early boar.
Boar's a very strong laning unit. I personally would like to have, you know, a point or two in board just for the slow. Look at that, they're going to kill the Beastmaster here. Yeah, they've got
going to do some damage.
that's 3 stacks in the shadow, right? Yeah, he's there.
Ooh, no,
just barely
the
running
boy
with the
who
stick.
lived.
That's fair. I mean, he kind of needs to have at the base. I don't think he wants to stay out here sitting on 100 HP, well, 10 HP. But I guess he wants to stay and die. Get some axes off, maybe a bit of a nuisance to this time before he goes. I'm not sure if it's what actually happened, but I think that the Jakiro might have been struggling to have too much impact on his lane. I don't know if he actually went back to base after that first engagement in the woods, and he had essentially 0 mana after the fact because he breathed fire 3 times in the engagement.
Yeah, we do.
So that might be
have
having
the
an impact
wand
on
though
the
with the 11 charges, and any lane against the Shadow Demon with the Shadow Poison.
Yes, you're
it's
getting
just
a
gonna
lot of free
pump up your
charges.
wand and fill it up. Yeah, absolutely.
Gives you a lot of mana to play with.
Yeah, and speaking of, we have both Yiddles on the Prophet and Sunderland on the Lion, both with the wands. Love the daggers, you know, they love the Purifying Flames and the Fortune's Ends coming out.
See, I don't think the Prophet can do too, like, you abuse it too much, right? I mean, the hero doesn't have that many mana issues. For Lion, it's quite nice just to be able to, to throw out extra stuns. Lion's got a second point in mana.
It's like you can use Sprout to, like, interrupt last hitting as well, to, like, you know, if you're sitting at full mana, you can nearly guarantee that the enemy carry is going to miss a last hit on the range creep with a well-placed Sprout.
Yeah. You can also use it to shove the wave if you want to maybe to push the wave into tower and do some pulling. Make it harder for them to kind of get too much out of the lane if if you're having a hard time like bullying the carry out getting last hits normally, you can just deny every other group wave by pushing the wave.
Speaking of bullied, getting last hits, this spin is he's having a rough time.
He's second highest on last hits right now though, so you know.
Oh, they almost killed him. He's going back to base. He's he's gonna miss out on a wave or so. But
taking a break in the jungle.
Oh god. Interesting decision. Maybe he convinced himself he could farm the jungle camp with his 1 point play.
The PA dies in the top lane. I do think it is a mistake out of the PA to not have a wand in this lane against the Lion, especially a Lion that, well, the levels in mana drain early. That's rude.
Yeah. Oh, that's a dead Oracle. There's no tangos left and there's no Climb Blade.
Unless.
Oh, Oracle showing him what death almost looks like. A little scary looking there.
Yeah, the nighttime came.
That's a big death. He was like, the PA died, was not happy about it, comes back and manages to get a free kill, so I'm sure PA is quite happy with that.
Absolutely. And with the Lion going this 1-0-2 build, you don't have that value level in Hex for that little bit of extra. Or
even just a second point and point for damage, right? I mean, it's I think going 2 points mad drain at level 3 is a bit greedy. I don't think it gives you much, right? Unless you really want the enemy to not have mana, which I don't think. I mean, Oracle isn't really like if you're sucking up Oracle, then I'm sure Oracle is going to be harming you.
Which we were rotating to try to kill the Jakiro here. We also had the Lion TP in. The Sven walked up, hit the stun, and
yeah, they're not. The Jakiro stays around long enough to get old. That's a dead Jakiro. That's a dead Jakiro. I mean, rotating heroes, getting a Jakiro. I mean, the kill goes to Shadow Demon. Not the end of the world. I'm sure neither team are too unhappy. It's fine.
PA working on her Battle Fury, going straight into the Cornucopia.
That should happen a lot in the lane.
Yeah, it's not terrible. Helps especially against a level 2 mana drain. Restore some of your mana to guarantee the Phantom Strikes and the daggers.
It also makes it a lot easier for her to go to the jungle if she does feel unsafe in the lane, giving that extra bit of HP regen. There's another dire side, so she already has
going on bot. Beastmaster is dead. Quap started to TP. Got cancelled by a cold snap, it looked like.
I see. That's unfortunate. I mean, I'm not sure there was too much they could have done turnaround. I mean, maybe you could have killed a support, but would have been a bit risky. Beastmaster not having the best start. Having a rough time with it, I guess. You have a max dagger Quap. Purges the cold snap with the illusion. You don't think being very brave right now.
Yeah, 7 melting strikes up. There's.
Yes,
no!
That was very scary. Very scary. Evoker, Evoker's also just staying around on very low HP. After this Quap heals up, I mean, if he stays and gets daggered, he's in a dangerous spot. I mean, he has stick charges, he's not likely to die, but at the same time, he's not in a comfortable position to be getting farm either, so...
Yeah, next rotating bot, helping secure the regen rune. Or deny the regen rune. Ooh, Quap blinks in, didn't see. Ooh, the Sunstrike hits.
She should be okay, I want to say. Yeah,
yep,
she misses the third one. She should be fine. She can blink out. It's that last one, so she'll take a little
chunk. Still leave the lane though, so that's a win for the Invoker.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good for the Radiant. Slows the Quap down, makes I was saying the Invoker realistically shouldn't have been staying in lane, right? He was getting nothing out of it, but because of that rotation by Sanic, he's able to stay even with low HP and get some creeps. So, actually quite an impactful rotation.
We have a Midas Nature's Prophet, ladies and gentlemen.
I told you, Geoff plays Prophet the same way I do. He said he played Prophet the same way I did, bro. He's gonna like rush an Oculus and stuff, or a Maelstrom and start pushing waves. He'll be the ultimate like solo kill hero. He'll be able to kill anyone solo, but as soon as there's two heroes together, he can't do anything. Oh, it comes down to skills kill on the Jakiro.
Might be able to kill the Beastmaster as well. Got the Sun Strike.
Yeah, this Shadow Moon into Soul Strike is a very gross combo.
Absolutely.
But they've got the extra setup with a Sprouse as well.
True. I mean, it's about slightly less reliable, but still something.
Retelling of last game, the 3 cores on Radiant are sitting above the 3 cores on Dire, but
yeah, but most of the gold is on that Prophet. You know, it's definitely not a significant.
But most of the gold is on the Dawnbreaker. Surely it can't.
Well, this time it's on Prophet, who I know me and Yields are both prone to losing games on after having been huge. I'm just speaking from experience.
PA stops the Battle Fury progression to go back for the power treads. Probably a good idea to move around.
Yeah, I mean, power treads help you a lot jungling and going between lane and jungle. And they're not honestly hitting out of lane too much. So I think the treads help you go between lane and jungle. Obviously, I think like it slows down your farm a little bit if you were not going to get like bothered at all. But I think it makes sense. You play a little bit safer. You're a bit stronger in general. And you got that little bit more kill potential, right? If you know someone does run returns to this Prophet, you're a lot more impactful in that situation.
And next on the Shadow Demon, being an absolute menace, we have an Invisible Dave coming up. He's got the finger.
Ooh, the Hex.
Lots of damage. Is it enough? Yep,
it's enough. Almost wasn't though. Interesting. I think the PA could have lived there if she had blood, because no one was in range to prevent the blood. That's a deadline. Took a step towards the creeps in prayer, in the hope of denial.
Absolutely.
Not quite making it.
So if we look at the scoreboard, the offlane Beastmaster, for instance, Cisco, struggling quite a bit this game. The Shadow Demon being an absolute menace to.
Yeah, it's been rough. The Shadow Poison's very frustrating. They've struggled, I guess, just to get the kills. I mean, the Shadow Demon's position has been very aggressive. They just haven't been able to punish it. Whether or not they can, I don't know. I haven't been watching the lane close enough to really see where things have went wrong. I love watching the Hawk dive bomb things.
Wop going for the Sanjin.
With Falcon Blade. This is a pretty classic like stat build up on Guap. I don't hate it. I think alternatively you can go Orchid, right, and then be trying to harm the Prophet and the Invoker. But I think current Invoker with his and stuff, I think it's pretty hard to kill. Prophet's very far ahead, and I think by the time you get Orchid, I don't think you'd actually realistically be killing him. Also, he is heading towards the Maelstrom on the Prophet. They got him. Can it? Maybe a turnaround though.
Might be able to kill the Sven.
They got a lot to say with the Sven. If they can kill the Sven, this is huge for them. The issue is, they'll just have their way to stop from walking away.
Cynic's out of mana.
Got his stick charges. He wants to keep going.
2-man Ice Path, and his Prophet TP's in.
Very.
Sprout set up the Sun Strike.
But, I mean, it's a relatively dead Jakiro, but maybe it's. Oh, the Shadow is a frustrating hero for Quap with the changes to world, I guess. Yeah.
Oh. So they did clean up the Sven,
but
it cost them.
Cost them a lot.
2, possibly more heroes. No, the Beastmaster should be able to walk out of this one.
Beastmaster is heading towards the Ags. I feel like I would have liked to see a Blink this game. The team kind of want to play around him. They already have Blink on Quap, so him and Quap being able to blinking together would have been nice.
So speaking of the Blink, we've got Yiddles on the Prophet working on the Glepnir. Very good answer to both PA and Quap to shut down their Blinks with the lockdown. You had mentioned the Orchid.
He would go the Maelstrom. I said he'd go the Maelstrom. It's the best thing for pushing waves and farming. He knows what he's doing. Man knows how to farm. This is the next evolution of your boy Nick. Is learning that you can go Midas and Maelstrom.
Absolutely.
Double the farming power.
Win rate graphs quite even.
Yeah, I
net
mean,
worth
like,
and experience definitely favoring towards Witch River though.
I'm sure the win rate graph is slightly biased by the fact that a lot of profits are ahead in this point in the game. A very unfortunate death on the Beastmaster there. Sanix just sniping him from the side here.
Absolutely.
I feel like Dyer could have punished him there. There are 4 people down here, and you can't. I feel like sitting on your towers 4 is not very productive. But on the plus side, this PI has been ignored. For lack of a better word, she has been ignored.
About 300 gold off of that Battle Fury. Close in CS to both the Sven and the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, I mean, she's barely behind them in gold, and she hasn't really been fed kills the way Sven has. So, I actually don't hate. I can see why the win probability is pretty much 50. If this PA continues to get ignored, I don't see how they manage to deal with it. Right, like she is just going to delete hero after hero. The only hero on Radiant that can really tank it for a long time is Sven. Like Evoker needs multiple items, and he's heading towards a Blink Dagger right now, which isn't going to help him tank a PA. So if this PA continues to farm, she's just going to delete heroes.
Yeah, well, that said, I mean, the PA is nowhere near the BKB and the... Oh, Beastmaster getting caught out again, unfortunately. Oh, able to make it away?
Rekill on the yellow stop. The PA Oracle just delete him.
Goodness, I was watching all this excitement happening. The Jakiro keeping him really unfortunate. The Oracle ult on the Jakiro keeping him alive.
Yeah, it should be an alive Jakiro. A lot of Oracle hills coming out. Ooh, unfortunately, you can hit the ice
Ben's taking some damage here.
Ooh,
Quap blinks in, misses.
Quap is also missing half her HP from Chad, even though. Dead Sven, though.
Dead Sven.
Quap
Sure is. Hawk slamming into Yiddle, or... Egress is in poker.
Giving too much permission to be an asshole. Yeah, they've had enough of Sanix's, random ass Shadow Poison spam. Beastmaster dies for it, but Shadow is dead. I'll have to get out. Unfortunately, doesn't seem like they have protection for him.
Quap blinks towards the Nature's Prophet. Unfortunate. Can she get away? 3, 2.
Out. She just manages to walk out.
And the whiff Sunstrike sees the crow going by, decides to not play it greedy. Smarter than me. Smarter than me.
Big Iron, by the way, on the line just came out. He just finished his blink on the courier right now. So it might be a very powerful item online. It's very scary to play into a blink line. Blink Hex is very frustrating.
Absolutely. Some not great coordination out of both sides during these team fights, though. I can see the blink going well. I can also see the blink, putting either side completely out of position in these team fights that are
I can definitely
very
see
chaotic.
the line blinking himself into a rough situation. Maybe a little too far forward, getting grabbed, maybe just ice pathed and beat down. Interestingly, the PA is going second item BKB, which I personally I used to think this way, where like as PA you want to go BKB second item if your team's having a rough game. I actually think you need the Dessa on PA. I think it's so important for your ability to blow people up. I don't think you could play your hero as well.
Going on the Sven here. You got the Oracle Spike coming in. The blink from the Lion for the save.
Say the Beastmaster's taking a lot of damage. Ooh, Meatball doing a lot of damage though. That might be a dead Beastmaster.
Is it enough? Not enough to kill the Sven. So low there.
Just barely alive. Overall, no one seems to die.
Oh, the Sunstrike had been caught in the back line.
Oh, the supports must have, yeah. Damn.
So the Lion. Ooh, and the PA died to the Nature's Prophet Shadow Demon while that was going on.
Yeah.
Radiant's got the ward high ground. Must have caught them.
That's unfortunate. That's a very unfortunate death for PA. She had a pretty much free game until then. So I think the key is to try and still avoid these fights, right? Still just remember that, you know, I feel like the longer this game goes, the happier she is. Finishing up the tower bottom, fair enough. Goes off the map a
The
little
last
bit,
tier
yeah.
1, Dota Bois only able to take the mid tower thus far. Pushing into Nature's Prophet is quite difficult though. The Prophet able to constantly keep those wave pushed out.
Yeah, it's, you know.
That said,
I don't think Radiant are too stressed about closing off. Dire are not too stressed about closing off the Radiance side of the map. I think, you know, this PA really just wants to hit certain time. Unfortunately, it looks like
there's the Glepnir reveal on the Quap, instantly deleted.
Yeah.
Shakira likely to get caught out as well.
Ben's very happy to ult here. He's like, okay, I'll get some kills and then I'll turn around and I'll finish off these Ancients. Although it looks like they were already consumed
by the Midas carrier of the team.
These Ancients were already consumed by somebody in the area. Who knows who?
Yep. Tormentor just spawned in. They want to take it. They still have the God Strength up. This should pop pretty fast.
Yeah. Not that free. There was a price. There was a price. Stealing even more ancient sacks from this PA. It's very. She should have farmed these when she finished her Battle Fury. It's not really much of an excuse. These should have been farmed.
That said, you know, she's only 1,000 gold behind the Sven.
Which is actually very
gold behind the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, the position she's currently in, once she gets to BKB, she can kill people. Yeah, as I said, I would have liked the Deso, right? With the Deso, like it's a lot harder for the Nature's Prophet and whatnot to pressure her, because if she doesn't die during Gleipnir, then he dies. I'm interested to see what she goes for after BKB. Will she head towards the Axe? Will she go back for Deso maybe? I don't know. Will she go towards Manta maybe?
Rapier.
Maybe.
Jimmy.
Not everyone can be useless.
Quap didn't finish up the Sanjin Kaya, going for a Lincoln Sphere instead.
Yeah, I think that's a very classic, not just Quap, but mid laner thing where you go towards Sanjin Kaya because Sanjin Kaya is like the ultimate. I'm snowballing and I just want to be generically stronger item, and then you go, oh no, things aren't going great, I need X item to play the game.
Yeah,
so yeah, it makes sense.
I think it leaves something unanswered though with the Glepnir though. So if you're a Quap and you've got a Lincolns, if you get Glepnired, you're still gonna die to all the right clicks and other damage.
I think this is a BKB game against the Invoker. I actually don't know how much the Lincolns helps you against Lion, right? Like, you're just delaying his stun, which might be enough for you to blink out, don't get me wrong, in their initiation. If Lion Blink Hex stuns you, you have that, I guess, a slight reaction time to try and blink out, but at the same time, you're not giving yourself much room, and you know, if you don't, then what was the Lincolns for? So we'll see. Lincolns is a generically good item on Quap, but whether or not it's enough to actually keep her alive this game remains to be answered. The PA is heading back towards Deso, so I'm not too unhappy with the iron build. I think Deso first obviously makes it farm a little bit faster, but whatever. Not exactly the slowest farm right now, anyway.
Nope, and you know, like you said, PA's pretty peaceful, just farming around the map. Not a lot of pressure. Not. I don't think I've seen a smoke out of Witch River yet. Check the supports real quick. Yeah, not a support in inventory of either of them.
They think this game looks like in the late game. Do they think this Prophet is just like their ultimate answer to PA? Because I don't know. I feel like Sven into PA is a very rough matchup. You're not very happy building an MKB on Sven. Like, there are a lot of other items you'd rather have, and obviously you can do it, but even when you do, I'm not 100% sure you win that 1v1 with PA because she has so much lifesteal on Blink Strike, Phantom Strike, sorry.
Absolutely. You know, in the PA, it's much more of the random game. If the PA gets 3 lucky crits in a row, I mean,
yeah,
you're always at that risk. It's not like though we've got the Demonic Purge out of Sanix on the Shadow Demon to pierce the PA's BKB. Yeah. It's not like you've got the Fiend's Grip or the Black Hole or these other like long interrupts to effectively wait out the PA's BKB. I mean, realistically, PA BKBs
That's
and
an
Phantom
interesting
Strikes.
point though that you brought up. The Ags on Shadow Demon would actually be very good against PA this game, right? I mean, you can break both of her passives and not let her play the game.
There's also a break being built on this Prophet next. Go for the Silver Edge.
Oh,
An interesting item choice. I mean, that's it. Other than this Ags, this is just a very reminiscent item build of my feeding Prophet games. Well, not feeding, throwing Prophet games. You just build a billion and one items to not let the enemy team play the game against you, and the enemy decides they don't want to play the game against you. They play the game against the rest of your team, and you lose.
Radiant smoked up. They know where Dire is. They're running at them. The Quap in the front here. In addition to the Glepnir, the Nature's Prophet has the Wrath of Nature. Just popped it to...
Farm.
Okay.
Just a farm. How do you run out?
You know, I was mentioning...
It's for one purpose, and it's for farming.
You know, I was mentioning that, you know, the Lincolns doesn't do much against the root, and
Right,
instantly onto the Quap. The Oracle ult to save her. Sven standing in the macro pyre.
Gets her off.
Getting out. Sven in the backline, stewing through the hero and the Oracle.
I mean, the PA gets out. I mean, this. It was a pretty good fight for Radiant, but at least your PA survives. That's the most important thing.
They'd have to be on some kind of killing spree to get those numbers.
Great Oracle save to start that one off, but just not enough additional save and not much.
I think if PA has Dessa in that fight, which she's pretty close to, it's a completely different fight. Right? She just starts blinking between heroes and deleting people, but without the Dessa, she doesn't have the damage to really kill enough things during BKB.
Still not a huge gold swing to Witch River, only about 2,000 gold again. Dota Boys being somewhat under-leveled, not able to provide a lot of value to Witch River with their deaths.
Yes, this has been a very 4-protect-1 strategy from Dota Boys, right? And I would argue that it's working. I think this PA is getting the items she needs. So she's got the Death. She is now very threatened. I assume she's going to head towards Axe next. It's like the classic build-up. I mean, it's a lot worse with the nerfs they gave her, but I think it's still very good. She can delete so many heroes on Witch River right now, because other than the Sven, even the Prophet isn't that tanky, right? Like he's got 17 armor, you know, it's decent. He's got 2 or 3 HP. It's very killable for an SOPA.
Well, he is building the Silver Edge though, and as we know, invisibility is invincibility. Yeah. So unless the PA starts carrying around some dust, that could be problematic.
Yeah, I imagine this this Prophet will become very frustrating for her once he hits 20 here with the Sprout, with the Leash Sprout. It's making it very hard for her to play without her BKB. And it's with Satanic on the PA, so she really wants to be able to mano a mano this Sven. Sven is now heading towards that MKB. I think it's a fair decision. The issue for Sven is even when he gets this MKB, assuming PA also finishes this Satanic, which should be similar timings, he doesn't beat PA in a 1v1 once she has Satanic and he doesn't. I think at that point it's a pretty Satanic favored fight.
Absolutely. I mean, we had talked previously about sometimes getting a Silver Edge on Sven, and I wonder if now is one of those moments where, because I don't know if MKB really provides that much value against a PA because it doesn't grant the True Strike, whereas the Silver Edge, you're guaranteed the break. You get the attack speed. I don't know.
I think MKB is better for your 1v1 kill potential, I think. Silver Edge gives you other benefits, right? I think maybe the Silver Edge is better for a hero like Sven that wants crits anyway. He's also a pretty natural Silver Edge builder, right? A lot of Svens, build Silver Edge regardless. So maybe Silver Edge would have been better. It helps him a lot against the other heroes, just blow them up. So maybe it would have been a smart choice.
Dota Bois, 28 minutes, going for another tier 1 tower, the last one. Starting to feel comfortable on the map. Quap going for the BKB, I really like that. I think that's the smart choice, the right choice. Meanwhile, Sven is just chewing through the mid tower.
He's ulting for it though. Ooh,
a bit of a misplay there. Gives PA a chance to reset.
PA deletes the Sven.
Absolutely, that was... Oh, misquabble, very unfortunate.
If there's detection for this Invoker, there's another free kill for PA.
Yep.
These are big kills for the Dota team.
Sanix able to get out, hiding in the trees, getting the TP channeled.
Just barely getting out.
Clean, but... yeah, really unfortunate. You know, we saw the start of the fight, the Sven ulted, blinked on top of the PA, ready to chop her down, and the Shadow Demon cast Disruption at the same time, give the PA a second to react, cast the BKB coming out of Disruption, just, like you said, delete that Sven.
Yeah, there's a 3,500 gold swing, and so much experience that the Dota needed on these supports, and every one of them other than PA.
Absolutely.
So just a wake-up call for which river.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, after that death, Sven is nowhere near MKB. He is nowhere near even being able to, like, think about 1v1 in PA. Meanwhile, PA is, like, you know, not far away from the Satanic, in which case she is very hard to kill. There is still this Prophet is still a problem. But as I've said about, you know, both mine and Yoda's Prophet games, we both do this all the time, where you become the richest, biggest Prophet in the world, and you can 1v1 anyone, but, you know, if people aren't willing to 1v1 you, who cares? Another farming ult from the Prophet.
Finger out on the Oracle. Oracle quick on the draw, ready to heal himself up there. Well played out of the Oracle.
And didn't overreact with the ult as well, so... An interesting decision to randomly finger. I mean, it's not the longest cooldown in the world, but also it is a cooldown.
Dota Boy smoked up, could be looking for the Nature's Prophet. Know that he's bought with the trees pushing out the wave.
If they manage to grab, I mean, if they're watching this Lotus pool, they see that he's getting it. They can see him grabbing Lotuses. Someone's pinged it. Someone pinged it.
No,
I don't know that's Prophet pinging it. It's unfortunate. If they were paying more attention to that Lotus pool, they would have noticed somebody was grabbing them. But...
and he's just up in the top lane, pushing the same.
Huge kill.
Looking to replace the wand next. You've already got the Gleipnir and the Silver Edge on the Prophet. What do you look for next? Do you go for an MKB along with the Sven, or do you go for more lockdown? Maybe a Scythe of Ice to keep the PA still before BKB?
The classic build-up is you either go Bloodthorn or BKB. Once you have Bloodthorn, you have like the kind of the ultra you don't get to play the game build, where like they're not allowed passives, they're not allowed spells. The normal build is you get Bloodthorn, BKB, and you eat the Ags, and you get a Sheep Stick, and then you hit them with everything, so they're just a sheep with all their abilities broken, and they're taking 1 billion damage from Bloodthorn. That's the ultimate you can't fight me build. Trust me, I'm an expert.
PA farming very close to the Sven and the Nature's Prophet and the Lion coming through the Waygate.
I actually think the correct item. Done.
Gonna say PA almost with enough gold now for that Satanic. 60 gold short with a Wraith band in the backpack.
Yeah, should I buy it now? Yeah, that's big. I think the correct item for Prophet, by the way, I think it's actually just AC. I think AC is the is a huge item from here. But I suspect that's not what he's going to do.
Nothing queued up, 3,000 gold in the bank on the Prophet.
This is an interesting point that hasn't really been brought up, is that this PA with the blur being able to walk around the map invisible, it's very easy for her just to accidentally find and kill Prophet. Like if she just gets lucky and happens to be blurring towards a wave that Prophet is nearby, he gives enough information for her to know he's there.
Oh, dire skin, Roshan. They know that it's happening. Ian Ray going low on the Sven.
It looks like a fight might happen. The issue that they have is that this Aegis is not that relevant. They're going for the ball.
They're going for it. They're ready.
Well, they're thinking about it. Oh, that's the thing. That's a dead time. That man is deleted.
Ooh, very early BKB out of the PA.
PA's leaving. The team. Oh no, she's staying. Okay, yeah, they BKB. They got Sanix. I think Radiant, for the most part, they got their Aegis, lost his support, they're happy. Only issue for Radiant is that I think Sven is not very relevant for doing anything other than whacking on towers when you're ahead. The issue is I don't think they're ahead enough to whack on towers right now.
Dota Boys playing so tight together. It's impressive, but you know, you do run the risk of getting ratted by this Nature's Prophet.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of his job at this point, right? Is to force them apart. Maybe, you know, get the PA pushing a wave that she's not safe to push. Beastmaster should be careful. His team are leaving behind a little bit.
Yeah.
Make sure you're with your boys. Hendrill's another BKB on this Beastmaster. It's going to be very big when they go to BKB. It's harder for Sven to kind of grab individual heroes. Has to chase them a bit for his kills.
Lion chasing after Dire. Blinks very aggressively.
Sven, I mean, he has his Aegis, so I understand why he's being brave. He doesn't, you know, at the end of the day, he doesn't want to win his first life, so he's being a bit brave.
And that's a dead Prophet as well.
This Sven does not have the team he needs, so, like, you know, they have to be careful. I mean, PA...
That's a buyback on the Nature's Prophet. He's back in.
Seconds. He has beacon in 40 seconds.
Down.
Yeah, can't make her mind whether she wants to go in or not. Nah, she's getting tired. She needs to commit to something. Nah, she got tired too hard. She needed to commit probably onto the Sven.
That's a dead Beastmaster. So many buybacks there.
On the dark side, yeah, it's a very rough fight for them.
One on Radiance as well, the Prophet.
The Prophet, which is a big buyback, I agree, but I think it's just unfortunate the PA got a little bit of brain fog, I guess. A little confused as to whether or not to go in or go out, but you know, they had seen her anyway, so she needed to commit.
Macropyre and 4 to defend the high ground. They should be fine. Yeah, the Nature's Prophet's already out. Dave blinking in on the Lion, though? The madman.
They're trying to save this PA, but Bardock is saved to be used, so I guess they're just trying to hold off with just Macropyre for now. Oh, some vision on the Oracle. They want him.
Oracle wants the crow. That's me. That's me. I get it.
Beautiful tornado. 0 damage finger.
Still gets the kill. Oh, Yiddles just stole the Wisdom Room out from in front of the Jakiro. Jakiro says, "No, I don't want to play with you." Backs away.
That's very rough. The Jakiro really wanted that Wisdom Room. You know, like the liquid fire attachment actually would be huge for them, right? Yeah.
Ben's standing high ground without Aegis. I don't know if that's where he wants to be.
You know what happened to him last life when he just kind of got deleted?
Lion deleted. Is the PA going to delete the Sven? Ooh, got the Shadow Demon ult. Can't get the Blink Strike target off.
The Sven did change his line build, by the way. He actually didn't go towards the MKB, he went towards the Silver Edge. He is now relying on a cooldown to fight his PA. But when his cooldown's up, he is a lot stronger.
So the Nature's Prophet doesn't have buyback and is sitting with 6,000 gold.
Yeah, I'm curious. I think you should build AC. I think AC does wonders for A, keeping him alive against PA, and B, it just makes his Sven do that much more damage and more him do that much more damage.
Oh, dead Sven. Caught out.
They're gonna be able to get more. This should be a dead Shadow Demon. I think the Quap should be able to catch up. Oh, he's TPing out. Can they stop him?
Oh, the Crow. Or the Hawk. Just a moment behind there.
Yeah. I mean, it went for the creep because they got vision on the creep. I think they only got vision on Shadow Demon because the Hawk went over him to get the creep.
It was
interesting.
Skipping out on the Ags altogether, queuing up the Basher next. Maybe just not that impressed with the changes to the Ags, deciding to.
Well, the changes to the Ags definitely make it no longer like amazing. I think it's like always optional, right? I think you need to decide whether or not basically refreshing Phantom Strike is worth it for you, because that's the main purpose for the Ags at this point. You either get it early for the blur to farm around the map, which is still a really powerful effect. Or you're getting it just so you can blink strike from support to support, just killing hero after hero in BKB. I think Basher's an interesting take. I mean, Basher PA always has the classic dagger bash that's really really powerful. But other than that, I'm not sure how much it does for her. I mean, obviously, she gets to Invisible Blade, it makes it very easy for her to delete Sven, which is obviously very important in this game.
Very dead Beastmaster bot.
Space created.
Seems to be the name of the game for this poor Beastmaster. This game.
He is definitely
2-10.
He's the one to suffer. Arguably in a good way, because I mean there was so much attention drawn to that bot lane for Witch River. I could not tell you why they were so, interested down there. But that's been like the one of the biggest things keeping, Dota boys in this game. Is just that they've been so interested in playing with the weaker toys, the less important toys on Dota boys. The PA's just been able to do whatever the hell she wants, right?
Absolutely. Sinix dying to the Tormentor there. Yiddles got the Bloodthorn. Spend the money. Quap blinks in aggressively, immediately gets Tornado GMP'd. Has the BKB ops not to use it. I think that's a wise play. Has a Trickster's Cloak as well. This Quap's going to be difficult to catch in the very near future.
Yeah, the Sven getting his shard from the Torment below, which is quite nice because it's just 6 extra armor for Sven and 6 extra armor for anyone near him, which is quite nice against PA. Just gives them a little bit of extra time to react to PA's stuff.
PA finished up with Basher.
Yeah, question is, will she get towards the Abyssal Blade now? Will she go towards the Axe Blessing, the Shard? I'm a little interested. A lot of items to play around with for her.
I'd like to see the Shard at some point. It is a lot of damage, even if you don't use it.
It's a very good. I mean, normally you want it when you get your Axe, right? So you can just Shard for everyone you blink on.
Dota boys short on lane, then they smoke. The Quap's a little out of position here. They're away from everyone on Witch River. But the Nature's Prophet, being the greedy person they are, farming where they just saw.
Yeah, looks like you won't get punished. They've walked away from that spot. I mean, the question is, they see the trees. The Quap is very interested. They see the Prophet. They're all running back up. Quap breaks though.
Nothing. Unfortunate. Quap does have dust in her backpack.
So
might want to consider swapping
on
the
a
greater
short
healing
6-second delay, she can reveal Embers.
Oh,
damn!
they're slow on the dust. It's so unfortunate.
Okay. They're on him. Will this Sven? Sven's committing. Sven's committing.
Through this Beastmaster.
PA is very interested though. PA is going on illusions. Oh, she got broke by the Sven. This is a really bad fight. There's an axe on the Shadow Demon. Axe on the Shadow Demon. This is the Shadow Demon is gross. The Sven's Silver Edge had already ended on the PA, and the Shadow Demon break was just, I guess, all they needed to kill her, right?
Nature's Prophet knocking on the bot racks.
Taking it. It's gone. Unfortunate for them. I mean, that Axe Shadow Demon did so much work in that fight. It's going to be so hard for PA to play this game if she doesn't essentially just start deleting the Shadow Demon in fights. The Shadow Demon cannot. He is enemy of the state. He's not allowed to exist now. He's got Axe.
Invisibility.
Towards that.
Beastmaster nearly has BKB, might be ready to sacrifice himself longer in the near future.
We'll fight a little bit more for his death.
Absolutely. We've got dust on the Beastmaster, the Quap, and the Oracle. Jakiro doesn't have some. They know that the Shadow Blade's causing an issue, as well as the Ghost Walk in these fights.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Dota boys realize how important the Shadow Demon is to these fights now that he's got Zags. Because that was like the only reason the PA died the way she did was because of this excellent Shadow Demon. And she basically cannot play her hero as long as Shadow Demon exists. I'm not sure if the break from Demonic Purge. I don't know if the break pierces spell immunity. I know that obviously the spell does, but I'm not sure if she's able to ignore the break while she's BKB'd, maybe? Not sure.
Witch River did take that good fight, not taking many objectives aside from that bot rack so quickly after that
I think they
fight.
were scared. Like, they had used their Sentinel, the PA had bought back, and they were a little scared. I think they should have went for it, right? I mean, they have their buybacks available. They have the, Shadowman has 2 charges on his ult with the act, right? He had another charge ready for the PA. The PA wouldn't have had BKB, so I think they definitely could have pressured in one of these towers. And if PA had tried to stop them, it might have just been GG. The gold lead for Witch River has definitely gone pretty big after the last couple of fights.
Yep.
But I mean, as you've seen, like, this PA can kill anything. Like, she has the damage. Just like, part of me wants to see her.
Can she kill anything twice though in rapid succession?
Well, the thing about Sven is you don't have to kill him twice when he's Aegis, right? I personally think you should ignore him on his first fight, right? That's the big weakness of Sven with Aegis, is that, like, he cannot ult in first life, because if he does, well, then you kill him like he's ult. You kill him like it's his normal life. Whichever life he doesn't have his ult for, he is not that big of an issue. Obviously, he's still a hero with these items, but he just doesn't really hit that hard.
Finished Abyssal on the PA. Nature's probably going for the Satanic. Quite a brawly item.
Choice. Yeah, very brawly, very like man fight item. I'm not sure I like it. I'm not a big fan personally.
No, I think you'd get more mileage out of like a Scythe of Ice at this point in time. Hold them still longer.
Yeah.
The PA
just try and grab
down
the
to
PA.
6 seconds. Like
yeah. For Radiant, this is very much a game of kill PA, right? Like it's about that simple. So you buy whatever you need to kill PA. I guess there's an argument to this Satanic is giving you the raw HP to survive.
Lion blink in, Beastmaster out of position.
Yeah,
Deleted, but spend ult and BKBs before Aegis is down. Gets Dagger Bash, does PA do something cute? Nope. Gonna hold back for now. Quap trying to slow down the Nature's Prophet push bot. Jakiro nearly dying here. Oracle is trying to keep him alive.
Sven disarmed and staring at Jakiro. Ooh. Okay, when the town
down once. PA is broken with BKB. That was with BKB up for the Curious.
Yeah.
Oracle is trying to keep this PA alive. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. No, this PA dead for 2 minutes. That's probably the end of it.
That looks like GG, yeah. Yeah. Unfortunate. I mean, honestly, another very close game.
Yeah, the kill score does not represent the threat that
we at all. I was gonna say this game was very much a game of like one bad minute. It was unfortunate for them how good the Shadow Demon Ags was against PA, because that was essentially all it took. But that was essentially the reason they lost. I think if the Shadow Demon didn't have Ags in that top fight is a completely different story. There's a good chance Witch River win it. I mean, sure. No, sorry, Dota Bois win it, and sure, Witch River was right in the bot racks, but if you're losing your Sven at top, there's a good chance you're losing your top racks anyway, or at the very least forcing to have very important buybacks and getting even more of a gold lead. But unfortunately, just that one Shadow Demon ult it's just very hard to play into his PA, I think.
Once he got the Axe, it was so hard.
But yeah, it became basically the game of they then had to kill Shadow Demon before he was able to ult PA, which isn't exactly easy to do.
Do we have a series MVP out of you two?
MVP of this series? Honestly, I mean, I think you probably have to get Yiddles for the series, right? Because that Dawnbreaker gameplay. I think he played fine on Prophet here. I think he was pretty solid, pretty just good player. He farmed really well. Was just this constant threat. But I don't know if I would have given an MVP this game. I think MVP this game goes to Sanix. I think Sanix did so much early game with his poison, but overall I'd probably give it Yiddles for the Dawnbreaker gameplay.
That's fair. I think I agree with that.
Yeah, still a great performance from both teams. Shoutouts to the Dota boys, fighting the good fight. Hope they're able to collect themselves, get ready for the next series. Looking forward to see what they're able to do. Maybe have a better start with their off lane.
At the end of the day, Witch River are one of the top. At least in MMR, they're one of the 2 top, or the 3 top teams. So it's they're very much so a team to beat. So I wouldn't be too sad about losing to one of the top contenders for the league.
Nope. All right, I'm going to kill the stream. Wonderful casting with you both.
That's
I'll
fun.
be, yeah. Stopping stream now.